working on this idea of fashion as software. Essentially, how could we redesign what fashion design means for the internet age? And so the first thing I did was, this is a web app where you can draw dresses. And the idea is it's kind of like this infinite fashion collection, and all the pieces in it are designed by individual people. And so this is made in JavaScript, and it's quite easy and it's kind of fun. And actually, over the years, it's been online for like 2 years. I've gotten like thousands of people making these designs, and they're all saved. And they all kind of have this unifying triangular look because, one, that's just how the code is written. It's an easy way to change like flat drawing into a three-dimensional form. And the three-dimensional shapes can be made into real dresses here. They still have to be cut and sewn, and there's a lot of triangles, but there's this unifying digital aesthetic to them. The interesting part is that there are real people who make all these designs. Like that one's kind of wacky, and that was made by an architect. But it's really fascinating to see what people do when you give them a simple tool. So then I teamed up with my friend Jenna, and Jenna is really good at computational geometry. So we use that to make our next thing, which is a bikini. And this is a completely 3D printed bikini. And it's interesting, not necessarily just because it's a bikini, it's actually because we invented this whole 3D printed textile to make this. And that's what gives it kind of this interesting flexibility, as well as it still holds its shape. And Jenna made this in Rhino. She coded a generative textile system that makes the surface and all the structures in it according to the precise curvature of the shape you're trying to make. Essentially, you can think of it like knitting a sweater. Like it's not fabric that comes in a roll, it's specific to the shape. And that's what gives it this flexibility. It's the fact that there's all these little circles packed together with springs connecting them together. But it also makes this interesting aesthetic overall. We actually designed the bikini twice. The first one, it was made all in one piece, which is nice conceptually, comes out of the printer complete. But then we made it again, and it has these interchangeable pieces so that we can do sizing. After the bikini, we want to do something else you could like wear around, so we made shoes. I mean, essentially, we kind of just wanted some shoes, but yeah, other people have done 3D printed shoes, but our idea was to be able to do them in a way that would let people like change it from a 1-inch heel to a 5-inch stiletto. We found that as women, it's frustrating when there's a pair of shoes that you really like, but then they're kind of like impractical to wear, so if you get them like a little bit lower, it would be nice. Here's a different version with origami in it. This idea kind of like would be best implemented like in a store where you could do it and like get the shoe printed. This is that same textile technique applied to shoes. And so we're working on this stuff, but it's not actually about like making these individual designs so much as kind of like this whole system where you have like a digital interface and then it goes to manufacturing and it has to be like delivered to people. And this idea kind of wants to become more of a product, so we started Construct, which is effectively our fashion label that lives as a website and it exists as software. And we started with this idea to let people make clothing out of images. It's kind of more direct in a way. It's basically like there's these silhouettes that are like a canvas. And the simple fact of being able to order this is actually really powerful, because then like it's real, you know, like clothing doesn't really become complete until you wear it. And we make this possible, like we actually print the fabric and then we sew it, and we make each one on demand. And we were doing this website in like a private beta, but we've gotten like a couple hundred designs already made by people. These are all made by various people using the website. And that's where it becomes interesting. Like, we really find that when you give people an opportunity to be creative, they do more than you ever could imagine, and they really like kind of take it in their own direction. And that's what we really believe the future of fashion is about. It's about the sense of participation and building something that's bigger than yourself. Thank you.